I said, why you player hating? Why they player hating on your boy? I'm saying, what it do, cucks? It's your boy, the hater, up in this piece. And we're going to do just a little bit of a rant right now, you know. I don't even have a topic for this one, right? Because we have SummerSlam coming by, and I didn't think of an idea to make a video on because this is yet another episode of Hater on the Road. So, this is Hater Outdoors. Man, I'm turning on my own self, you know what I'm saying? I'm forgetting my own made-up stuff. So, I guess today's video is going to be the mandatory preview of SummerSlam. Now, there's a possibility they may add some other matches, correct? Correct. So, we'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty sure this is what we're going to get. And then later today, which I think is Monday, I'm going to watch Raw and review that. But I don't know if I'll be able to post that today because I might review it late. I don't know. We'll see. But expect a Monday night Raw review in some capacity. Cucks. Now let's get to it. All right. The first match we've got here, according to Wikipedia, is Damian Priest versus Gunther. Now, we've been over this 100 times. This match is going to suck. You know what I'm saying? Damian Priest has some pretty cool moves, and he's pretty athletic, especially for a bigger guy. Gunther is not pretty athletic for a big guy, and he's clumsy and has shit moves. So this match is going to have to be carried by Damian Priest. Now I can hear the neck fat flapping. I can hear the neck beards getting angry at what I just said, right? Because I know that the narrative is that Gunther is exceptional in the ring. Well, even Shawn Michaels said it. He's lying, all right? He's lying. People act like Shawn Michaels doesn't understand how business works. Of course he's going to say Gunther's great. He said Gunther and Ilya Dragunov is better than him versus The Undertaker. Like, there's two possibilities. The far likelier one, he lied, or he's stupid. I mean, that's possible too. Like, nobody ever thought Shawn Michaels was a smart guy, right? He could be a complete idiot. Of course it's not better. But anyways, the point is, this match is going to suck. Nobody wants to see this, and the only hope that we have is that somehow this match goes on first so he can make way for the rest of the matches, which are far more interesting. Well, most of the matches, I should say, because one of the matches is Bayley versus Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. Now, you know, we talk a lot on this channel about how Cody Rhodes is having this disaster of a title reign, but if we're being honest, the Bayley title reign is even worse. Like, the Bayley title reign is just a complete failure. Bayley wins the Women's Royal Rumble, which should be this very, very high honor, just so she can once again become Women's Champion. Like, if you insist on making every woman a Women's Champion, then every Royal Rumble should just be like someone new and up and coming winning, right? But the way that WWE has turned out to be, especially with the women's division, but generally as well, is pretty obvious, right? So it's like, next Royal Rumble, who's going to win? I would bet almost anything it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. Almost anything, I bet. Right now, there is a chance she might still have the Money in the Bank, and if that's the case, she's winning it next year, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that, right? It's very obvious who's going to be a big deal and who's not going to be a big deal in WWE when it comes to the women's wrestlers, right? There's no need to even consider this any longer. 1 point, not Cora Jade, what's the one? The women's champion in NXT. Roxanne Perez, I think her name is. Like, she's been like the top one for a minute, right? Like, she's going to come back 1 point and she's going to win the Royal Rumble, right? It's very obvious what's going to happen. It's very clear that they're going to follow the same suit. It's going to be, once in a while, it's going to be like a Becky Lynch or a Bayley. And then the other times, it's going to be someone new, right? So it's not going to be anybody unexpected. Like, you're never going to see Zelina Vega winning the Women's Royal Rumble, right? Like, most likely, you know what I mean? You're going to see, like, Bayley, Rhea Ripley, Becky, Bianca Belair now. These are the new 4 horsewomen. Charlotte Flair could win at any given moment, but we'll see how it goes. Nobody really gives a rat's ass, so here we are with that. Speaking of not giving a rat's ass, we've got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. The entire premise of this match is to see how the story will unfold, which is something to look forward to. And it's going to make me, someone who otherwise doesn't like women's wrestling, watch the match, right? Look at that. You see what happened here? Like, instead of focusing on the in-ring product, by focusing on the storyline, someone like me, who typically hates this stuff, is willing to put up with it, right? And the problem is, for WWE, there is a lot of people like me So the worse the match, the more storyline you have to put into it. But the last time I was excited for a match based on the actual like match itself was probably John Cena versus AJ Styles, because I wanted Cena to win the title. Before that, it was AJ Styles versus Ambrose, because I couldn't believe that AJ Styles was going to become the WWE champion. But I saw the writing on the wall, you know, I'm like, oh, it's going to be AJ versus Dean Ambrose. Like, Dean Ambrose sucks, so of course AJ Styles is going to win, you know? So that was exciting to me, because I'm like, oh, wow, it's going to happen. AJ Styles, Mr. TNA, is going to become the WWE champion. Since then, I don't care at all about the actual match, you know? So this is a great example of how a storyline can make something worthwhile. But nevertheless, the match itself is going to suck. Liv Morgan is kind of boring. This is the best she's ever been, but she still kind of sucks. And basically, like 95% of the moves that Liv Morgan does are just complete botches. Like, they're complete botches. Like the Oblivion, it's like you would have to be like a retarded toddler to not counter this. You know what I mean? It's like anybody could counter it. And also, the size disparity is just too much, right? Like, there's no universe in which Liv Morgan has a chance to beat up Rhea Ripley. It would be like the equivalent of having, I don't know, having like someone average, like having like Matt Hardy beat up like Kane in real life. Like, it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? There's a 0 chance that Kane has in losing to Matt Hardy. But whatever, you know, hopefully that is factored into the match, because a lot of times these matches don't even factor that in. They just have these like 50-50 bookings where Liv Morgan is going to like beat the hell out of Rhea Ripley in the corner and laugh and smile at the crowd. And all of a sudden Rhea Ripley has to take a John Cena role. No, Rhea Ripley, the match should be this. The match starts, big boot to the head, Riptide 1, 2, 3, right? Or, you know, big boot to the head, Dominic distraction, roll up 1, 2, 3. Those are the only acceptable ways to finish this match. Next up on the docket here, we've got Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Now, this is another predictable match. LA Knight is going to win, and it's going to be presented as if it's this big career achievement for like whatever, however old LA Knight is, like 41-year-old LA Knight. Oh, he's got the same birthday as the Hater. November 1st, cucks. LA Knight is 6 years older than the Hater, and LA Knight is going to win his first title, basically. So there we have it, right? Then we've got, let's go quickly over what's going to happen. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. I'm going to pick Liv Morgan to win. I think that's a pretty safe bet. And I think Dominic is going to turn on Rhea. That's what makes the most sense. Bayley versus Nia Jax. I actually could see Nia Jax win. Only because Bayley's title reign is so boring, right? But the smart money is on Bayley. Damian Priest versus Gunther. Like, obviously the smart money is on Gunther, but I'm going to pick Damian because I think personally my philosophy that Gunther wins in Berlin just makes more sense. But who knows what they're going to do, right? Then we've got Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. I'm going to pick Braun Breaker because for the same reasons as I just picked LA Knight. Well, not really, but for the same reason I picked Nia Jax, kind of, even though I didn't pick her, you know what I mean? Like, the Sami Zayn title reign has been a complete disaster, right? This is like, people act like this is like this huge deal. It's like his 4th or 5th Intercontinental title run, you know what I mean? But this one meant the most because it was at WrestleMania. Shut the fuck up, you know? So Braun Breaker deserves the title. He could actually do what Gunther tried to do, and that is make the title relevant. Like, if Braun Breaker is having matches with mid-carders where he's just destroying them, right? You can give Braun Breaker, he's the only one that merits an Ultimate Warrior-esque Intercontinental title run, right? Where he can take this to the main event of WrestleMania, right? And do a champion versus champion. He's the only one in this entire company that has that capacity, right? Then we got CM Punk versus Drew. This match could go either way because at any given moment, CM Punk could get an injury and they might have to call an audible and Drew McIntyre may pick up the win. So I'd say it's 50-50 because the probability of CM Punk getting hurt in this match is like at least 30-40%. But otherwise, of course, obviously CM Punk is going to beat Drew McIntyre, right? It goes without saying, there's no way that CM Punk's first real match is going to end up a loss, right? It's just not going to happen, especially if they have any plans for CM Punk in the future. But they don't, right? Let's be real. CM Punk is gonna have this match. He's going to win, and then he's not going to wrestle for another 3 months, you know? He's going to do the Cody Rhodes. Then, speaking of Cucky himself, we've got Cucky versus Solo, right? I did a whole video on this, how I think Solo Sikoa should win. However, obviously, Cody Rhodes is going to win, right? The question only is whether or not there is or there isn't a Roman Reigns awaiting, right? And I'm going to say that Roman Reigns will come back, but I don't think he should, right? I think it'd be better if Roman Reigns came back on a random episode of SmackDown, right? There's this weird thing where it's like, all right, I get it. In the Triple H era, which is complete garbage, everything has to happen at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam. But why, right? Why, like logically speaking, right? In the context of kayfabe, why would Roman Reigns wait until SummerSlam to come out, right? The only explanation is if he wants to screw Solo from being the champion. But that's not even very fair, right? It's like, he should still want Solo to win. Now think about it. Cody Rhodes is the one that ruined his life. Cody Rhodes took the title. Cody Rhodes took the main event with The Rock. All Solo Sikoa has done is beat up Paul Heyman, and who nobody really cared about anyways, and just basically say he's the new tribal chief. So he can beat up Solo Sikoa, but he doesn't have to cost him the match. He should be able, like, what should happen is this. Like, Cody Rhodes narrowly wins. They both get up. Roman Reigns comes, beats them both, stacks them, pins them with 1 foot, symbolically. But they're not going to do that. They're going to just have him go after Solo. So I think he's going to come back, and we'll see how that plays out. But anyways, as you can see, the card is stacked. It is. Like, if we're being honest, it's stacked, right? There's a lot of matches in this card, right, that involve champions. I think all of them, except for maybe one, involve champions of some sort, right? But it's only stacked in the context of a contemporary WWE event, right? Meaning that if you don't give a rat's ass about Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, LA Knight, and Braun Breaker, nobody cares at all. But at least some of those people are interesting enough, right? In my opinion, because this is a SummerSlam, which means I think it's a little bit longer than the other pay-per-views. It might be like an hour longer. They may as well just add the tag matches, right? They may as well add like the, Jacob Fatu, whoever it's going to be. 2 of the people from the Bloodline versus the tag team champions. I think that could be a good idea, and let that happen. It could be nice to see them win the tag team titles, to kind of give Solo Sikoa like a rub in his ability to be a leader and to craft a faction, right? That's a pretty big deal, like winning the tag team titles as a faction. That's a pretty big deal for a faction leader, you would say, right? But it's also good to give Jacob Fatu something to do before like a few years pass and he's tag teaming with the Usos as the next iteration of Too Cool. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where all this shit's headed, motherfucks. Take care of yourselves and go fuck your mothers.